Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to tell you what exactly is statement of purpose and how should one write it, and is it mandatory to follow particular pattern, particular format to write a statement of purpose. So firstly, let me define what is statement of purpose. In my opinion, statement of purpose is a piece of paper given by university to an applicant where applicant should write something in order to sell himself to the university. So before you start writing a statement of purpose, I strongly recommend you to go to the website, university website, and read what exactly are they asking for, because every universities ask different questions. I mean, the background may be same, the all over, I mean, achievements, research interests, all those may be same, but the question which they are intending to you to mention in your SOP, the answer which they are expecting from you might slightly change. Because some universities ask for personal statement where you are required to mention your personal experiences like language barriers or something like that. Some universities ask for professional statement of purpose where you're not allowed to mention any of those problems like financial problems, language barriers. You're only allowed to write everything in professional manner like your work research experience, your projects and all that stuff. So in this video, I'm going to reveal my SOP, which got me multiple admits, multiple scholarships as well. So let me tell you what were my admits and what were my scholarships. I got totally 6 admits. So Michigan Technological University, Arizona State University, Texas Tech University, University of Cincinnati, Clemson University and Purdue. These universities gave out admits to me. And the universities which offered me scholarships were Michigan Technological University. MTU did not offer me exactly scholarship, but a professor has agreed me to take in as research assistant. And Texas Tech has offered me $2,000 lump sum scholarship, as also it has offered me in-state tuition fee, which is almost 50% of out-state tuition fee, what international students pay, what we actually pay. And Arizona State University has offered me $5,000 per semester scholarship, and University of Cincinnati. This university offered me a huge scholarship. I mean, I showed you in my previous video, it offered me 70% scholarship, which is like huge. I mean, $21,000 scholarship. So I'll be revealing my SOP which got all of these my scholarships. So let me share my computer screen and I'll tell you what format I followed, what my SOP is and everything. So let's get started. So let me open the document. So yeah, this is the format I followed to write my SOP. People ask me generally like, is it mandatory to follow a particular pattern to write a SOP? I'll say no, it's not mandatory. But if you follow a pattern, if you follow a format, it will be more organized. So it looks so clean and it's easy to spot out like which paragraph. If a professor is only interested in your projects, he can just go to that paragraph and just read it. So I will not say it is mandatory to follow a format, but I'll recommend if anyone asks me whether to follow a format, yes, just please follow a format. Keep it organized. So this is the format I followed. In the first paragraph, give your hook, introduce yourself and write what inspired you to pursue masters. Give a hook. Hook is basically, you might be knowing what an elevator pitch is. So just give them a 2-3 lines introduction of what are you, like what inspired you to masters. And in second paragraph, describe about your bachelor's, describe about your undergraduation degree, like what are your interests, which subjects are you more inclined to, because this second paragraph is prerequisite to what you're going to say in your intended research area. Because if your intended research area is something related to design and manufacturing, then you must be very much interested in it. So you can say that in undergraduate I got a good grade in those subjects, I was very much inclined to it, I've actually worked some projects with professor in that domain. So something like that. Describe about your bachelor's. In third paragraph, describe about your projects and research works, what you've done. Again, I'm saying do not list out all your projects. It's bad. I mean, nobody wants to see what projects you have done. Professors are here to, professors want to hear what you have done in projects, like what exactly did you do in projects, how did you solve some problems which got in your way while you do projects. So do not list out all the projects because there's separate resume where you can list out your projects, so don't do that here. Just mention, if you have multiple projects, if you have 5-6 projects, just mention 2 projects and tell them something, a story like where you have faced a particular problem and then how did you face it, how did you solve it, because professors are more inclined to know how you think rather than what you've done. So describe your projects. I mean, give them a nice story where you have solved a problem, something like that. And in 4th paragraph, describe about your work experience. I mean, work experience means internships, full-time jobs, anything. If you have any internship, mention about them. If you have full-time, if you have worked for 1 year, 2 years, give them what exactly were you working on, what were the challenges faced. Like, for example, I mentioned my for second internship, I was designing Tesla turbine and analyzing it, so I faced some problem while designing it, so mention that. And how did you solve it, so mention that. Try to write more stories. And then in 5th paragraph, include all the extracurricular activities like sports you played in your college, any clubs, debate clubs, or any clubs you participated. And also mention community service if you have it. That actually helps. That gives judgment to the professor, like about your behavior, about your attitude and all. So in 6th paragraph, talk about your intended research area, because masters is basically masters is not similar to bachelor's where you'll be having some credits where you just have to finish and write exams. You'll be more learning into one research area where you'll be taking multiple subjects. So talk about your intended research area and how you got interested in that particular domain. Like you can say like I have interned at some company and I've done product development where I've designed multiple products, so I find it very interesting, where I was very keen to it, so I want to pursue my masters with specialization in product development, design and manufacturing, something like that. Mention like that. So if you're not applying for thesis program, if you're going for professional master's program, talk about your goals, because in non-thesis program you generally don't have any thesis, you don't have anything to do research with. So talk about your goals, like if you're going for a non-thesis program in mechanical engineering, talk to them that you want to be a production engineer, so you're just completing, you don't need any or you're going for a quality inspection or something like that. So talk about your goals. And in the last paragraph, conclude about why you want to particularly study at that university. Like, all these, what you mentioned in 1st to 6th paragraph will be in all of your SOPs which you're sending out to different universities. In 7th paragraph, make sure you give a reason why you want to particularly study. Mention a professor's name probably. Tell them that I really admire the professor's work, I want to work under him, I want to work with him in certain project or something like that. So this is the format I followed. So let me reveal my SOP, what my SOP is like. So this is the SOP I used for Texas A&M University. So let me read it. So first paragraph, I gave a hook line about myself and what inspired me. So my decision to pursue higher studies in mechanical engineering is hardly an accident. I believe that my childhood education in Air Force School and the accompanying exposure to the world of airplanes, automobiles and other marvels of mechanization in those early days inspired in me an insatiable curiosity and love for machines. Don't say that you have opened a TV in your childhood and or else you have repaired a radio, because no one's going to believe that. Tell them that you saw someone repairing it or you saw something and you very much liked it, so that you can say that you got inspired from it. So my second paragraph, the undergraduate program in mechanical engineering at VITP, which is my university, has provided me with a launching pad to further explore my passion for machines. During my stay at this university, I got exposed to core areas such as subjects what I like. I mentioned the subjects what I like: engineering mechanics statics, engineering mechanics dynamics, strength of materials, theory of machines and machine design. I mentioned these subjects particularly because my intended research area is design and manufacturing. So theory of machines, machine design, all those are prerequisites of design. That is the reason I mentioned. Beside these core areas, I also have added advantage of being introduced to specialized areas such as polymer engineering and IC engines. I mentioned these because these were the electives I took, and I've took IC engines because my intended research area is design and manufacturing, but I want to keep my field of application in automobile engineering. So that is the reason I mentioned this. While these areas are fundamental to mechanical engineering, contemporary engineering practices have grown to be significantly reliant on computer and programming. I mentioned this because in the next slide I'm going to introduce that I have learned CAD, SolidWorks, CATIA, ANSYS, softwares like that. So I just introduced a line that even mechanical engineering stream is dependent on computers, laptops. So that is the reason I mentioned this line, and fortunately my undergraduate program has also enabled me to study areas such as SolidWorks, AutoCAD and basics of ANSYS. I have then in third paragraph I have wrote completely about my projects. Let me read it. I have participated in several projects and internships that greatly refined my understanding of mechanical engineering, particularly design aspects. I am stressing again on design and manufacturing because that is my intended research area. I want professors to notice that, I want professors to acknowledge that. During my 5th semester program, I designed an agribot. This is one of my major program, which is multi-purpose. Again, I gave just description of that program. Agribot is die wheel. I just wrote like what the program is actually. Here comes the story. This actuator, there's a part called actuator in my project. This actuator makes the axle size vary according to the requirements of ploughing width. During this project, one of the challenges I faced was to design a mechanism by which axle should smoothly actuate smoothly. So I had really, I just said that this is one of the challenges I faced. Initially I had tough time designing the actuator because I never designed one, so I was struggling with it. However, I got an inspiration from another machine. While I was sitting in a computer lab one day, I observed how keyboard desks work. The thought of applying the principles underlying the cabinet profile sliding mechanism using ball bearing. I hope you know what keyboard desk is on a computer chair. Like it slides. So the mechanism in it is there are nylon ball bearings which slide through the slider. So I just tried to apply that principle in my actuator. I successfully implemented a similar mechanism in my project by designing an input shaft attached to motor connected to this mechanism. This project helped me strengthening my understanding of design aspects. Also taught me inspiration could be found everywhere, even from the most straightforward machines in the in our daily life. I just added this line so that professor can understand that I took inspiration from a simple machine. I've also worked on another project again. This is another project where I gave my project description. Again, I've told them where I found I told them wherever it was challenging and how I faced, and then I mentioned my portfolio URL. Again, in the next paragraph, I mentioned about, I told you that you can mention about your work experience internship. I've done actually, this is my third internship, but I've only mentioned about one internship. Like later on in my second internship, because in that internship, I faced this challenge, and that story was actually pretty good compared to my first internship, because first internship was mostly a learning for me than a practical hands-on internship. So later on in my second internship, I was assigned to design a 3D model smart garment that monitors human body vitals such as ECG, muscle activity, that potentially can help many fitness freaks to enhance their workouts and yoga. This was a project assigned to me. The hardest part of the design was not the garment but the detachable arc design, which is like the project consists of an garment which had a detachable arc here. Because of the electronics, I had to create more space in it. The thickness, all those were very intimidating. So it really took more, it was really tough to design it, which is technological hub that houses all the major electronics. The internship thoroughly exposed me to various aspects of design in a truly lasting way. Before you say this, that your project has exposed you to a truly lasting or something like that, give a justification prior to that. Like, I've given my justification that I designed this and this was tough time. So in this tough times, I've learned many things. So that was my justification. Don't just state this was good internship which I've participated. This was the course which I've very inspired. Tell them why you are inspired. Justify your statements. In the next paragraph, I mentioned all my extracurricular activities. That is not important. Everyone can write it. So I'll just go to the next paragraph, where I've mentioned my research area, my intended research area and professor's name and all that. To fuel my zeal for further research and continuous learning, I have decided to pursue a master's program in mechanical engineering and get involved in higher studies in this area. My intended area of specialization. Note this guys, you have to include this line in your SOP. This is most important. My intended area of specialization in graduate program in mechanical engineering at Texas A&M University will be mechanics of material, which is solid mechanics. I'm particularly enamored by professor. I mentioned one professor's name where his research and my second project was similar. So, and would like to be involved in a given opportunity. I just mentioned him and I just said that I really admire his work and I want to work under him. Then, although I mentioned why I choose United States particularly, although there is a vast scope for research in India, the desire for broader exposure and desire to experience better education has prompted me to seek this opportunity to study in United States. And then in last paragraph, I just told why this university particularly. I already mentioned professor's name, so that should actually help, that should support the coming paragraph. As Texas A&M University has highly reputed masters and PhD research programs in various engineering fields, its laboratories, research products offering cutting-edge facilities, I believe that university would provide the perfect platform for me to pursue training and research in mechanical engineering. Guys, I have actually missed a line here. I would suggest you to mention, like I've mentioned that research projects offer cutting-edge facilities. There are some research projects going on, so mention one of the research projects which you are interested in. That will actually help. I actually forgot to write that, or probably I wrote it in another file. Anyway, so I would also be grateful for university opportunities such as a research and teaching assistantship. I'm mentioning that providing me a research assistantship will be not only help me financially, but it will help me grow. I'll be involved in more research and stuff like that. So I eagerly look forward for your reply, challenging another career in mechanical engineering. So I just told them that I'm confident I can make it to the research and all this. So this is the SOP I wrote. This is the way I organized it. So if you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to leave a comment down. I'll reply. And if you have any further video requests, again, just comment down. I'll make them. So yeah, that's it. So I guess now you know what exactly statement of purpose and the subject around it. So please do consider subscribing. Thanks for watching again. Yeah, see you in the next one. Thanks.